What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode. Hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and share the video. Hit the join button and become a member. Members get exclusive content. About to make something for the members right after I make this video right here. Well, we're about to get into the Los Angeles County Jail and the snitch list that the Hoovers had, some Bloods and some Gangsters, really the SMG. They had a snitch list that they carried around, and they obtained this snitch list by going in the computer, pulling up people's cases, and finding out the ins and outs of the case. If this person was telling on his case or not. And some of these dudes were snitching, and they were on the snitch list, and they were being hunted down in the Los Angeles County Jail. Oftentimes they were being caught in the court tanks. Now, before I go any further, I want to emphasize that these stories are not to glorify violence, particularly black on black violence. I believe and have believed for many years that it is stupid and it only weakens us and weakens our cause. I don't believe in violence really against anyone, any race, any group. Since I am a human being and I have human feeling, I am disinclined to agree with abuse of any kind against any group, any race, any faction. I get upset when I see anyone being mistreated or abused. I want to respond on their behalf. Anyone. That's how I've always been. That's just my heart. However, this country, this society has told me to pick a side. It's divided by race. And it's, in fact, not only did it tell me to pick a side, it forced me to pick a side and told me which side I had to pick. They said, you can't fight with us because we're fighting against your race. And you're one of them. You can't come and fight with us. So you have to fight with them. You have to fight with your race. I just accepted the challenge. I just said, okay, because I do, as some of you may have noticed and made mention of, have a profound love for black people. I don't apologize for that. I believe that we are beautiful creatures. And I am disinclined to fight against my own people. I believe that if I blacken a black man's eye, he's not strong now or as strong as he would be without the black eye to fight the opposition. I just weaken my own cause. My cause is freedom for myself and my people. How can I advance the cause if I perpetrate violence against my own people? So I don't believe in it. And the stories are not to glorify it. I believe that the time is nigh when we will come together as one. I personally see black people waking up all around the world and unifying and being fed up. It's a beautiful thing. I'm involved. I want in. I want to join the fight in the cause for freedom for my people. Count me in by any means necessary. I don't want to glorify anything, but these things did happen. I particularly don't want to glorify one faction against another, because a lot of these battles were between Hoovers and neighborhoods in the Los Angeles County Jail. But there were some between the Bloods and the Crips, the Gangsters and this, and of course, many battles with the blacks and the Southsiders, many riots. I'm going to get into one, in fact, in my next video. I'm going to get into one riot in particular that still irritates me, and I'm going to have to speak on that. And so if I start to tell some of these stories, it may seem like I'm glorifying one group over another. I'm not. I'm affiliated, but I'm not an active gang member. I don't care about that shit. Again, when I think about the black man committing violence against another black man, it makes me nauseous. It makes me want to vomit. The thought is repulsive. I believe that the real opposition are these human flesh mongers, these merchants of death. That's where I put my energy towards, not towards my own people. And so when I bring these stories, I'm going to try to balance them out at the very least and bring stories of different groups that went head to head behind the walls. Let's get into it. It was one dude in particular. He was from 107 Hoover. He was well known, a young homie. At this time, this was in maybe 2010. I think 2010, he was about 29 years old. He was in a Los Angeles County jail for 3 hot ones. He had 3 unalivings. Again, he was well known on the street. He was putting in work. A young homie. He was growing up and rising through the ranks, becoming a real reputable. And 2 of the unalivings, he was by himself on the case. But another one, he had a crimee. And with that case, they were riding on the freeway, driving, and an opposition pulled up on the side. They were going back and forth, rolled down their window, were arguing, saying something, throwing up gang signs. And he pulled out a weapon and shot him right there on the freeway and unalived him. Right there on the freeway. But he had a crimee. Now, he had this snitch list as well. They're going around and they're looking for people that's on the snitch list. They're going to different modules. They're going inside of 4800. They find out what cell you're in, and they're going there and attack you. Again, the deputies will open a cell, no problem. But a lot of it, what happened when these snitches were about to go to court and testify that very day against someone, and they would catch them in the court tanks. At this time, they did not have cameras in the court tanks. Many people, in fact, credit these situations and the Hoovers with the cameras being in the court tanks, because at this time, the Hoovers were going around in the court tanks with blades, and they were cutting people. One in particular, who I'm very close with from 7-4, to this day, we are childhood friends, best friends, people will say. He was so vicious with the blade that one time he ran in a dude's cell and gave him the blade and told him, if you don't cut yourself, I'm about to bust you down up in here real bad. And the dude sliced himself with a razor, man. I'm serious. Again, I don't take pride or glory in that story. I feel bad for the brother when I think about it. But I'm just letting you know what happened. They were using weapons inside of these court tanks. And so they had to put cameras in there. And they were catching these snitches in the court tanks. And a lot of these attacks were vicious. Now, this one dude from 107, he had the snitch list with him. He was putting in work on the street, obviously, in there for 3 hot ones, 3 unalivings, and his activeness on the streets transferred to jail. As soon as he got to jail, he was active. He was putting in work most of the time with the weapon. He had the snitch list. One incident in particular stands out, where him and 2 other dudes ran inside a dude's cell that was a gangster. But it was a gangster involved in the attack. And they sliced the dude up and sliced his face up very bad. Because they had him on the snitch list, and they had proof with everyone that was on this list that they were snitching. These were not wanton, rampant attacks. Well, they were wanton, but they were not rampant. And lo and behold, the dude from 107, he popped up on the snitch list. The young homie who had been putting in much work, had a lot of respect, and was putting in work in the county jail, helping out with these attacks with the people that was on the snitch list. Well, his name popped up on the snitch list. The one case that he was in there on for the unaliving on the freeway, where he had the crime, he began to snitch on that case and thought no one was going to find out. And, well, they lured him to sleep. They did not attack him right away. They didn't want them to know that they had found out. They devised a plan because they wanted to get him and get him good, and they didn't want him to escape. And they also knew that he liked to play with weapons also, and so they had to come correct. So they went into cahoots together and devised a very clear plan on how to attack him. And they waited for his court date. Again, these court tanks. And they got him in a court tank, and 4 dudes attacked him. They began to eat with him, lured him to sleep. They was in there eating, talking about their cases. And as soon as he got up and acted like he was about to go to the bathroom, they attacked him. And they hit him and sliced him over 80 times. But he survived the attack. And he went PC. And a lot of people on this snitch list, well, they incurred the same fate. They went down and went down hard. And there were a lot of battles in the Los Angeles County Jail, in the Crip module, in the Blood module. At some point, they even tried to separate the Hoovers because of all of the bloodshed. But there were many race riots in the Los Angeles County Jail as well. Me always believing in an egalitarian society and believing that it is a fallacy. It's fallacious for other people to believe that we are inferior and will continue to accept secondhand citizenship. Well, I got to a dorm, and that's what was being pushed. That we wait at the back of the line. That we go last to eat chow. I said, man, these people are crazy. And I have a feeling it's about to go up immediately. And I was right. Coming up, a riot in the Los Angeles County Jail between the blacks and the Southsiders. I'll give you the dorm, and I'll bring you the story. Stay free, people.